Hi, welcome to Made with Love by Daisy. This video is part 3 of the Amigurumi pattern for Our Lady of the Rosary. This pattern is available for free on my channel. If you like this pattern and would like to support me, consider purchasing the PDF pattern from my Ravelry store. It will help me make more free patterns. In this video, I will be making the mantle and the arms. Start with a chain 10, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In row 1, make 9 increases. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 and 9. So this was row 1. From row 2, we will begin the increase rows. In this pattern, when I say increase row, it means increase in the first stitch and then make one SE in each SE till you have only one single crochet left. Make an increase in the last stitch. So basically it means when I say increase row, you will be making an increase in the first stitch and the last stitch of that row. So row 2 to row 4 are increase rows. So increase in the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and increase in the very last stitch. Row 3 is also an increase row. So you have to increase in the first stitch. One SE in each SE right till the end. And increase in the very last stitch. Chain 1 and turn. Row 4 is also an increase row. Increase in the first stitch. increase in the last stitch. Row 5 is an even row, so that is just one SE in each SE. I've finished row 5. After row 5, we're going to follow the following pattern. Make one increase row followed by 2 even rows. So that is a set of 3 rows. So this set of 3 rows we want to repeat for a total of 7 times. I'm going to work these 21 rows off camera and I will come and see you. 3 rows and you repeat that 7 times, so you get 21 rows. We just finished row 5. So 5 plus 21, which will mean I will meet you at the end of row 26. So here is how this mantle looks at the end of row 26. After row 26, we will still continue making increase rows. We're just going to change the number of even rows. So now we are going to do 1 increase row followed by 3 even rows. So it will be a set of 4 rows. Increase, even, even, even. So this set of 4 rows will be repeated for a total of 3 times. So that is another 12 more rows. So I will finish those 12 rows off camera and then I will come and show you how to make the edging. I just finished row 38. Now the mantle is almost done. I'm just going to add 1 row of edging along the sides. So this will be the right side. So I'm going to start making 1 stitch across every row this side. I'm going to do that by make a chain 1 first. And now go into the first stitch, or rather the side of the first row, and then just make 1 stitch into the side of every row. So technically speaking, because we have 38 rows, you should end up with 38 stitches along the edges. But if you have a few stitches more or less, don't freak out. It's okay, it's just the edging. If you manage to get 1 stitch in each row, it will just look more neat and uniform. So this is the last row. So now we have these 9 stitches that we started the mantle with. So we made 9 increases in the first row of the mantle. The opposite sides of the foundation stitch are available. I'm going to make 1 slip stitch into each stitch across the top edge. I have my 9 slip stitch, and I'm gonna work across this edge, making 1 single crochet into the side of each row, just like I did on this edge. And when I reach this end, I'm going to fasten off. I'll meet you before I fasten off. So I've reached this end. I'm going to fasten off with a really long tail because we will be using this tail later to sew the mantle onto the main body. Before we begin the arms and the sleeves, if you are enjoying this video, do subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so that you do not miss any new content. I'm going to start the arms and the sleeves. So if you notice in this one, this arm is sort of attached inside the sleeve. So we will start working from here in blue, and then halfway through we will switch to the skin color and then go back and finish the sleeves. So let's start making it. We're starting at this place and coming down. So the tail at this end, we'll be using that tail to sew the arms onto the mantle later on. So I'm taking a very generous tail. Normally I wouldn't have such a big tail for a magic circle. And I'm going to make 8 single crochet into this magic circle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Close that magic circle. Normally when you're working, you'll keep your tail behind your work, but now we want to keep the tail in front and then continue working. I'm going to take a contrasting piece of thread and use that as a stitch marker. The next 11 rows are going to be even rows. So we're just going to keep making 1 SC in each SC for the next 11 rows. So this is row 1 plus 11. You should be having a total of 12 even rows. So I will finish up till row 12 and then I will come and meet you. So I have finished up till row 12. So here's row 1, and after that I have 11 even rows. So now you want to switch to the skin color. Before we do that, I'm going to bring this blue yarn in front of my work, and I'm going to join my peach into the next stitch. I shouldn't have completed this last stitch. So before finishing this, I should have completed this last stitch with the new color. And I'm going to bring my stitch marker in front. And this row will also be an even row, but we're going to work back loop only. So after we finish the arm, we will come back and use these unused front loops to finish the sleeve. That's why we haven't fastened off the blue yarn. I haven't cut the blue yarn. The blue yarn is still attached to my ball of yarn. So this entire row is going to be back loop only. Here's the very last stitch. So this one row was back loop only. After this, we will just continue working even rows in both loops. You want to work 10 more rows in the peach. So if you count along with this row that we've already worked, you should have 11 rows in peach. So I'm going to go off camera, finish those 10 rows, and then I will come see you. So I've completed 10 more rows. So this was the first row that we made in back loop only, and after that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So a total of 11 rows in peach. The next row will be a decrease row, after which I will sew this hole shut. So before we do that, we want to stuff it with a wire. The wire is completely optional. In fact, in the prototype that I made, I did not stuff it with a wire. But I felt like a wire will give it additional stability because that little arm is not strong enough to support that little wooden rosary. So the rosary keeps falling off. So if you add a wire like this, it will add some additional stability to the arm. But this is a 3 mm wire. Oops. I'm so scared this is gonna jump up and break the camera. It didn't seem so tough when I was doing it without the camera. Okay, I'm gonna need both my hands for this. Oops. Got it. Yeah, so that is 3 mm thickness. It was definitely a lot more thicker and stronger than what I expected when I bought it, but this actually works for this project because if you look at it, it's almost the same size as this opening. And because this already has a protective coating, I do not have to wrap the wire in a masking tape or something else. So this next row is going to be the last row with the peach, after which we will be fastening off. Now the last row is going to be 2 single crochet, decrease, 2 single crochet, decrease. One, 2, decrease, and then 1, 2, and decrease, and I'm gonna fasten off. I don't need a very long tail for this because I just need to close this side. Just make a little knot. Put it back inside. And just bring it out wherever you want to. It doesn't really matter. And I'm gonna fasten this. There's a little bit that exposed, but it doesn't bother me because anyway I'll be working the sleeves around this and the sleeves will be hiding it. Before I begin the sleeve, I'm going to remove the stitch marker right up till this point. So it's back to the beginning of this place. I'm going to continue working with this blue yarn that I have here. This first row can be a little fidgety because we now have the wire inside and we've already worked in one loop. So getting it into the stitch and working it could be a little bit more difficult. This row is gonna take a while to finish. So in this row, I'm going to make 3 single crochet increase and 3 single crochet increase. So 1, 2, 3, and now increase, I'm intentionally not speeding up this row because I want you guys to know exactly how difficult it is, because sometimes it's very misleading when the video makes it look very easy, but when you try it out it's a lot more difficult. I'm showing you real time how difficult it is to make. Now I'm placing a marker over here. You'll know why in the next row. But now we're going to make 3 single crochet and increase one more time. 1, pull the thread from the marker over there. So 1, 2, 3, and in the next stitch we are going to make the increase Damn, it's tight. Okay, so we've finished this row. So before starting the next row, I'm going to move my marker. After this, for the rest of the sleeve, this is how we'll work. We're going to make 2 increases in each row. So we'll make an increase before every marker. So what do I mean by before every marker? So in this row, this is the first stitch. So make a single crochet in that stitch. Make a single crochet in the next stitch. And in the next stitch, that's 3. And in the next stitch, so that is 4. And now we've reached the stitch before the marker. So make 1 increase in the stitch before the marker. I'm gonna bring my marker in front. And then make 1 stitch. And 1 stitch in the next stitch. Into the next stitch. And 1 stitch into the next stitch. We are going to reach the next marker, so we're at the stitch before the next marker. So make an increase in that stitch. So when you work this way, you will end up making 2 increases in each row, 1 before each marker. So your sleeve will start growing like this. So keep working like this till you are happy with the length of your sleeve, and then you can stop. So I've made 10 rows like this. I'm happy with this length, so I've cut the yarn. So I'm gonna remove this side and I'm gonna join it with the invisible join. So for the invisible join, so we are in this stitch. Skip this, go into the next stitch. And then go back into the top of this. So this is the stitch out of which this thread is coming. So we've gone inside this, come out of that. We're going to go back into the same stitch from which that thread was coming out. So when you do that, you can see where the beginning and the end is. So that's your invisible join. Just secure the tail. Secure the tail with a knot inside. I don't need the markers anymore, so I'm gonna pull it out. So if you've learned how to use the markers properly, when you pull it out, it should come out without getting caught in any of the stitches. I'm just gonna work my way through these stitches. Since it's the same color, it's easy to hide them. So if you're here, just replicate the stitches you see on top. So we're here now, go into this next stitch. We're here now, so I'm going to go into this gap here. The reason I'm struggling so much is because of the wire that is inside. Okay, now let's cut this. Do not cut the wrong tail. So this is the short end. I need the longer end to sew the arm onto the mantle. So here is one sleeve, and I've already made another sleeve. And another shape looks a little weird, but it won't really be noticeable when you fold it over, because one hand will be holding the rosary. So I'm going to fold it like this. So this arm would be like this, and I'll place the rosary on top of this. So that portion won't be very noticeable. It's going to be like this. So here's the mantle and the two arms. That brings us to the end of part 3. I'll see you in part 4, where we'll be making the veil and the halo. Until next time, happy hooking!